Hey, Shalom, Yahweh, Shem, Yahweh, Shabarakatah. Israel, you know what I'm saying? All the brothers in the truth, all the brothers not in the truth that's tuning in to these classes. Uh, this is the Isupk, Alabama Biblical Law Club. Okay? And we teach the law according to the Bible, not according to the oppressor. You understand? The oppressor will say different things are lawful. You understand? Let's take gays get married, for instance. Okay? It says that, you know what I'm saying, the law says that, you know what I'm saying, two men, two women can be married. You know what I'm saying? But the Bible says that that is an abomination. You understand? A death offense. So, is the Bible lying about what it's saying, man? If the Bible says something is a death offense, just because we're not under the punishment of the law, so to speak, does that mean that we have escaped the justice of the law? No, it doesn't. Uh, in the homosexual community, uh, AIDS is something that they deal with. Domestic violence at a high rate. I've seen it myself where I've seen it myself where a lot of times they kill each other in that relationship. So just because, you know what I'm saying, your oppressor says something is okay to do, doesn't mean that it's okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, man, and you know we can find that evident in so many different things. You know what I'm saying, throughout our society. Okay. Now your oppressor has told you that weed smoking is something that you can do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of states that make it illegal, it's big push to make it legal. You understand? But like I said again, just because your oppressor says it's okay to do some things doesn't mean that it's okay. You understand? And you're gonna come and find out if you haven't already, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people already know, man. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, grew up uh, where drugs tore up their family, man. If it didn't affect them directly, it affected them indirectly. You understand? It affected their neighborhood, where they lived in. You understand? A lot of this mental illness that we deal with day in and day out, besides that, the trauma that we go through, that we've been through as a people, a lot of these things are not just tied to oppression, but they're tied to the drug usage in the black community. You know what I'm saying? We coin these different things like smoking weed, you know what I'm saying, popping Molly, ecstasy, you know what I'm saying, Percocets and things of that nature, uh, as a thing to do. You understand? But it isn't, in fact, it's not a thing to do. It's not nothing that we should be doing, or nothing that we should be glorifying, no more than we should be glorifying the selling of these drugs. You understand? More to use it for that matter. Okay? Uh, so I'm just gonna what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna dive into a few precepts to back up what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna hit you with some practical knowledge. You understand? So I'm gonna come at you from a biblical standpoint, and I'm gonna come at you from a standpoint of just practical everyday knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the ISUPK, and we are the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. Black man, black woman, native woman, Hispanic man, and Hispanic woman. We are here not to stop you from having fun, but we are here so that you may have life and have it more abundantly. You understand? Because what you guys called living. You know what I'm saying? You say you out there living your best life and all these different things. It in effect not. You know what I'm saying? You're ruining yourself. You're living at a very low state. You've been you've been conditioned mentally to think that these things are things to do, and these things are in fact not things that you should be doing, and they are the very reason that you are in the low state that you are in now. You understand? And I'm going to bring a lot of these things to light, as far as like this drug usage. You know what I'm saying? You know, furthermore, man, I just got I believe weed smokers are in the cult. I believe even smoking weed is a cult. You know what I'm saying? You can't say nothing about smoking weed to a weed smoker. They will get very aggressive if you talk about that weed. And they tell me everybody that smokes weed is peaceful. Have you been to Chicago, Southside Chicago? Southside Chicago is not very peaceful. You understand? Birmingham, everybody smokes weed in Birmingham. Birmingham is not very peaceful. New Orleans is not very peaceful. Atlanta, the West Coast, all out there is not very peaceful. This thing about smoking weed and just, let them smoke weed and it's all good. Nah. Besides the fact that it tore the black community and it put the black community, separated families, you understand, for smoking weed, you understand? Not only that, but it's one of those things to where we gotta be able to see through the smoke, see through the whole agenda behind smoking weed. Okay? So I'm gonna pull my first precept. I don't know if we live on Facebook yet, but we should be live on Facebook. See a like up there, so I'm gonna assume that we're live on Facebook. Okay. Let me see. Let me get Proverbs. 16 and 27, and I'm gonna start right there. Proverbs 16 and 27. Hey, yeah, I don't know why that camera right there ain't working. I don't know why that camera ain't working, but I got the camera going right here on the computer.
Well, you got all over the floor.
Got what over the
Your feet cramp. You got it hooked up to the camera?
Yeah, it's hooked up right here.
You went out and never came on.
Nah, it was never. I'm live in the class right now.
I'm telling you, go over there. I don't know what folks came right on. I'll take the one we back.
All right, let's see.
Do my face, put the keys on your face, check and make sure you in. He ain't gonna hold on about this so I know. I train the folks to be able to run around.
All right, cool. All right. So I said Proverbs 16. That's what it said. Okay. An ungodly man diggeth up evil, and in his lips there is a burning fire. Okay? An ungodly man diggeth up evil. Okay, and in his lips is a burning fire. Meaning, okay, this man is digging up this weed about the earth, enlightenment. You know what I'm saying? They tell you that it's a herb. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, it is a herb. It's a herb, but you know what I'm saying? You can abuse anything. You understand? It is not only a herb, but it is a medicine. Okay? I'm gonna dive into that a little deeper. I'm just pulling a few precepts, and I'm gonna follow these precepts up with practical knowledge. Okay? All right, let me get Ezekiel 8 and 17. Ezekiel 8 and 17. You know what I'm saying? I know this is gonna make a lot of you weed smokers out there, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna make you mad. But you know what I'm saying? You need to hear this, man. Because this weed is not just this harmless drug that you think is just harmless. Weed has done just as much damage to the black community as crack cocaine, as gang banging, you know what I'm saying, as your heroin. It is a weapon it is something that has been weaponized by your oppressor. And you know what I'm saying? It's been an attack on the black community with the marijuana. You understand? This is not nothing new. You think that just because your mother smoked weed with you, you think that it was okay. But in fact, that she was doing you so much damage, that you can't even begin to fathom of the damage. Imagine who you would be now if your mother never smoked weed with you. Imagine who you would be now if you didn't hang out with your friends and get addicted to weed. Yes, weed is addictive. It's very addictive. Okay? Ezekiel 8 and 17. Then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Okay? Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit abominations which they commit here? Is it a light thing? Is it a light thing, all these things that we're doing? Drug usage, drug selling, you know what I'm saying, shooting each other in the street. Is this a light thing that, you know what I'm saying, homosexuality, you know what I'm saying, getting over on each other, being umbrella, committing adultery against each other, you know what I'm saying, going out there and worshiping the other gods, you understand, getting involved in Islam. Is it a light thing that these abominations that we're doing? Is it light? Okay? I'll keep reading. For they have filled the land with violence. Okay? The land that blacks, natives, and Hispanics live in is filled with violence, man. Not only do we commit violence against each other, you understand? We commit violence, you know what I'm saying? We have violence all the time committed against us. You understand? We had the shooting in Buffalo months ago, a month ago or so. We had the shooting against those children in the lab in Texas. So well, everybody is familiar about the shooting in Texas. You know what I'm saying? If I pronounce that wrong, you understand, you know what I'm talking about. We just had this shooting over here in Texas. It is violence in our lands, man. Not to mention all the rappers talking about, they ain't just smoking weed, they talking about smoking on ox. They smoking people now. They sacrificing people to weed, worshiping the weed, sacrificing a man to their weed god. You know what I'm saying? Smoking on the ox, smoking on what's the brother that got killed in Chicago, Tuka. They always say they smoking on that Tuka. You know what I'm saying? In Jacksonville, they saying they smoking on Big 23, Lil 9. You understand? All these brothers that got killed inside these gang wars, you know what I'm saying? The brothers that's still alive on the opposing side, they say that they're smoking on these brothers. You understand? But weed is harmless. Weed is harmless. But you have these brothers talking about, I'm smoking on Tuka, I'm smoking on Biggie, I'm smoking on 23, Lil 9, FBG Duck. You know what I'm saying? They say they smoking on all these dead brothers, but this weed is supposed to be harmless. It seems like weed is followed up by violence. You know what I'm saying? They try to make it seem like weed is followed up by sex and just a good time. You know what I'm saying? You're going to smoke that weed, you will have a good time. But that's a lie. You understand? And we've been tricked into it. Okay? I'm going to keep reading. For they have filled the land with violence and have returned to provoke me to anger. In low. In low. And what else? You know what I'm saying? They put the branch to their nose. Okay? Now, if you from Alabama, you should doggone know what this means. You know what I'm saying? Especially brothers in Alabama. The term for weed in the streets for a long time, before social media and all this other jazz, people in Alabama were saying, I'm smoking on that wood. You know what I'm saying? I'm smoking wood. I'm smoking on that wood. That's what guys in Alabama would call weed. They would call it wood. You understand? And you know what I'm saying? Like it says in the scripture, lo, they put the branch to their nose. They put the branch, meaning they lit the branch and put it to their nose so they can get high. You understand? And weed has always been synonymous with violence. What do you think your average cat that does the drive-bys or you know what I'm saying? Even though they do a lot of different other things now, you know what I'm saying? All the guys, you know what I'm saying, that you've been seeing committing violence all throughout your community. A lot of them are high off weed. If weed was such a calm and patient drug, it would be virtually no violence inside the black community. Because everybody, it seems like, in the black community smokes weed. So why do we have such high murder rates if weed is such a good thing inside the black community? I'll wait. I ask that question again. Why is there such a high level of violence inside the black community where everybody smokes weed? I grew up, man, I couldn't go to the park without smelling weed in there. I couldn't come outside with somebody without seeing something. It was always a blunt lit somewhere. You understand? It was always a blunt lit somewhere. And there was violence in my community. There's violence in this community, you know what I'm saying, in Birmingham. And everybody out here smoking weed. If weed is such a peacemaker, if it's the peace pipe, like you like to say, you understand? Why is there so much violence in the black community? Because weed is not put in the black community for peace. Weed is put in the black community to doggone make you a irrational thinker. It alters your very mind. It is not this doggone magical medicine that a lot of you people think it is. Weed is a very, very mind twisting drug, and it's highly addictive. You understand? I'm gonna get into how addictive it is in a minute. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give you the stats and what they say about weed being addictive. You understand? All right. So it says in low they put the branch to their nose. Okay, verse 18. Therefore will I also deal in purity. Okay, mine eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity. And though they cry in my ears with a loud voice, yet will I not hear them. That's why God is not, you know what I'm saying, the Most High is not, you know what I'm saying, coming back to save us, you know what I'm saying, because we are God on worshiping everything except the Most High. You know what I'm saying, using all these different drugs, doing all these abominations, doing all these things that we're not supposed to do. You understand? I'm going to keep reading. Okay, let me get Exodus 22 and 18, man. This is referring to the wicked drug dealer. Okay? 22 and 18. You know what I'm saying? We're going to debunk this tonight to this whole notion of weed just being a harmless drug. You understand? And furthermore, you got this high grade stuff out now, man. It's not even the same weed that they were smoking in the hippie days. You understand? It's not even the same weed. This stuff is doggone juiced up on steroids with extra THC in it. They making this. They got super weed out there now. That's not the same. You understand? And you wonder why the mental illness in the black community is at an all-time high. It's because of the weed that these cats are smoking. You understand? Forget about the fact that nothing's supposed to go in your lungs except air. You understand? Forget about that. But you know what I'm saying? They're smoking this high-grade weed. You know what I'm saying? Thinking it's something that, you know, that's going to get them extra high. The fact is that you guys are drug addicts. Nobody has more excuses than a pothead. They will make any excuse for that marijuana smoke. They will make any excuse for that marijuana smoke. You understand? It's almost like, do you not see what's going on around you? Are we living in the same reality? No, because they're living in a high reality. They're high. They're not sober. They're not thinking correctly. All right. This is Exodus 22 and 18. Uh, Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Okay. Drug dealer. Wicked drug dealer out there inside the YouTube world, Facebook world, the world of the internet. Wicked drug dealer. Why do you think your life, if you're not expected to make, make it past a certain age, wicked drug dealer? Why do you think that? It says right inside the Bible, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. You understand? Why is that said? Why do you think that you die out here in the streets? Why do you think you die out here in the streets, you know what I'm saying, on a high rate? You understand? Why do you think that? It's because you're nothing more than a witch. You understand? Drug dealer, you are a witch. You understand? You're taking these drugs. Okay, think about it like this. Okay, when you see a cartoon witches or whatnot, what they always doing? Standing over a pot. Okay, putting this in there, putting that in there. You know what I'm saying? Stirring the pot in the cauldron with a big spoon or whatnot. They say, take this, and you know what I'm saying? You will be in love. Here, take this and take that. You understand? They always have some type of elixir, either to control you or to fix, you know what I'm saying, what you got going on. That's your average everyday drug dealer. You understand? Your average everyday drug dealer is nothing more than a witch. You know what I'm saying? Nothing more than a witch. You understand? And the fact that we, you know what I'm saying, nowadays we glorify drug dealing is why we're under the spell that we're in. It's why that we are under the spell that we are in. You understand? Because we glorify the witch. We glorify the drug dealer. You understand? We got on under their spell. You understand? And the white man is Salakia. The oppressor is the one orchestrating this whole thing. You understand? He's the one puppeting this whole thing. He's behind this high-grade marijuana inside the black community, man. This loud. This, you know what I'm saying? They got so many different names for it. You understand? So many different names. You know what I'm saying? And last time I checked, man, marijuana is damn near unaffordable right now. You understand? I don't see how a lot of you cats still smoking. You understand? I know at one time it was like $20 a gram or some jazz like that. You know what I'm saying? Back in my day, you can get a dime bag, you know what I'm saying, a whole 3 grams for $10, you know what I'm saying? 10 4 grams. You know what I'm saying? You can take all that to get high. You understand? But now Esau said, hey, I'm going to get these guys some hyped up stuff. And furthermore, if you're talking about you don't like GMOs, I call it, it's ringing now. Yeah, well, it was. If you out here talking about you don't like GMOs, what do you think your loud is? It's genetically modified. That weed that y'all smoking on right now is genetically modified. So you out here trying to eat healthy, you know what I'm saying? You don't want the watermelon without the seeds. You don't want the grapes without the seeds. But you're smoking weed that is GMO, that's genetically modified. So what are you talking about, Christian? You smoking weed that's genetically modified. You understand? It ain't no weed out here that's on the street. Your Kurt, your granddaddy, Kush, you know what I'm saying? Whatever jazz y'all smoking on, your loud, all that stuff is genetically modified, man. That crap ain't natural. You understand? You talk about it's natural, it's from the earth. It's not natural. It's genetically modified. All you health nuts that's against GMOs, you're smoking GMO. If you were such a health nut, you understand, you wouldn't be putting anything inside your lungs outside of that. Okay? So, I'm going to say that, you know what I'm saying, basically, the drug dealer is a witch, okay? The drug dealers are rich. All right. When is it okay to ingest weed? When is it okay? Okay, it's okay to ingest weed if you get a prescription from the doctor. And if you're going to ingest the weed, it is still unlawful to smoke the weed. You understand? I'm gonna pull I'm gonna give you a couple of precepts to back up what I'm saying. Okay? Now, if you was prescribed weed, let me see what's some mental conditions that you might be prescribed weed for. Definitely not anxiety. Y'all can kill y'all can miss me with the anxiety crap. Because nothing encourages anxiety more than weed. Okay? So it's definitely not anxiety. Um, Maybe a cancer patient, or it does have some pain. It's kind of like, okay, if you was to doggone take weed that you got from the doctor, it will have an effect more like a Percocet or something. The pain doesn't go away. It just takes your mind off the pain. You know what I'm saying? The dopamine, you know what I'm saying? It nice dopamine in your brain, and it takes your mind off the pain. But it doesn't take the pain away, but it takes your mind off the pain. It's not nothing that you should, you know what I'm saying, think that it's going to take the pain away. It just puts your mind in a state to where you're not thinking about the pain. That's what weed does, okay? So let's get that straight. But if you was to be prescribed weed by a doctor, you couldn't smoke it. You couldn't smoke it and still be off. What you could do, you could make a tea out of it. You could eat it in some, maybe a smoothie or some jazz. You got to be careful with that. You understand? And all these different things. And when you get over your illness, you know what I'm saying? You will have to put the weed down. You understand? These different herbs, okay? These different herbs that come from the earth, as you guys say, they're not made for long-term use. If you want to talk about stuff coming from the earth, man, cocaine comes from the earth. Okay, case in point. Okay, cocaine comes from the coconut. But what a lot of you guys don't know that, take your Coca-Cola for instance. Take your Dr. Pepper for instance. Okay, where do you think it gets these names from? Caffeine was not the only thing inside these sodas when they first came out. I want to say in the early 1900s, give or take. I'm going to say the early 1900s, but it might have been the late 1800s. You can look this up for yourself, Google it. Your Dr. Pepper, think about the name, Dr. Pepper. Why do they call it Dr. Pepper? Because it peps you up. That's why it's called Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, meaning that you had to get a prescription to get Dr. Pepper. You understand? You had to get a prescription for it. Coca-Cola. Why do you think they call it Coca-Cola? The reason why they call it Coca-Cola, because it had cocaine in the Coca-Cola. You understand? A lot of these things are not new. They prescribed you soda pop, as they call it, you know what I'm saying, Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper. They prescribed you these drugs, you know what I'm saying, this soda that you know what I'm saying, that we drink now, you know what I'm saying, because it doesn't have cocaine in it. But you know what I'm saying, like I said before, it had cocaine in it. They prescribed it to you if you have some type of narcolepsy. You understand? If you had some type of ailment that that you will fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? It was prescribed for several different illnesses. Okay? And it had cocaine in it. You couldn't just walk in the store and just buy a Coca-Cola like you can now. You understand? You had to have a prescription for it, because if you didn't have a prescription for it, you couldn't get it. You understand? Because it had cocaine in it. That's a fact. You can look that up. I'm not making this up. Your Dr. Peppers and your Coca-Colas and even your Pepsi. Pepsi. Look at the name. Pepsi. Why? Because it peps you up. It wasn't the caffeine that was doing it. They didn't get their names from the caffeine. They got it from cocaine. Yeah, look that up. Okay. All right. Anyway. All right. Let me get Ecclesiasticus 38. Yeah, Ecclesiastes 38. Yeah, we're gonna get on the weed here tonight. You know what I'm saying? You ain't nothing but a drug addict, weed smoker. You just a drug addict. You know what I'm saying? You looking down on the crackhead, on the heroin user, weed smoker. You ain't no better than that heroin addict, than that crack addict, than that meth addict, than that pill head. You know what I'm saying? You ain't no better than the guy that's using a flocker. You ain't no better than an ecstasy popper. You know what I'm saying? The Molly user, the syrup drinker. Weed head, you are just the same. You's a smoke head. Ain't nothing but up in your head but smoke. You understand? You only have a brain up there. Marijuana has taken over your brain, weed head. You a sucker. You know what I'm saying? You sucking on that blunt, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you a sucker. That's what you is. Instead of doggone sucking down that blunt. You drug addict, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. But we live in a world where there ain't no shame. Where everybody tells you everything's okay. Do what you do. You know what I'm saying? You don't smoke that weed, smoke it up. Well, then you know what? That's why the Israelite school is universal practical knowledge. Because we're going to tell you you're a sucker. And all love. We're going to tell you that you're a sucker and you're a doggone drug addict. You understand? You need to get your life together. Be a man. Put that blunt down. Have some discipline. You understand? Stop doing anything for money. You understand? Don't you know that's why in the penitentiary, that's why a lot of these guys that's in the penitentiary, they are not homosexuals. You understand? But they have vices. Forget about the brothers that, you know what I'm saying, that can't eat. You understand? That don't eat because they ain't got nobody sending them money. You got brothers that come inside the jail, inside the prison, and they so hooked on these drugs that they become homosexuals just to get the drug. You understand? It's always it's a drug dealer inside every prison, every jail. You understand? It's a drug dealer in there. Okay? And a lot of times that drug dealer is a homosexual. And if you can't pay for those drugs, he's willing to trade those drugs for sex. Every drug dealer knows this because most, if not all, drug dealers trick with some poor crackhead lady at some point in time on the streets. Okay? They do the same things inside the prisons, except there's no women inside those prisons. So your drug dealer inside the prison, in a lot of cases, not in all cases, but in a lot of cases, they are going to turn another brother, they're going to prey on that brother and make him a homosexual. You understand? Because he doesn't have any money to get the weed. He don't have any money to get the cigarettes. You understand? He don't have any money to eat. So they're going to turn him into a homosexual. Yes, this happens in prison. You understand? While you guys just don't have the discipline to quit. They're too weak to go through the withdrawal symptoms and fight. You understand? You're too weak, man. You're weak and you're not on your way to being a homosexual because you're too weak to fight. You understand? You gotta lay down. You gotta lay down. That's no way for a man to live. See, it's not a way for a man to live. A man should never lay down. Okay? 38. You start at verse 1. Okay, so I'm going to tell you when it's okay to ingest weed. A lot of you guys out there wondering, well, I should be okay. God made the weed. You know what I'm saying? Like, when can I use weed? First off, you shouldn't want to be in a position where you need to use weed. If you're in a position where you don't need the weed, you are in a good position. That means there's nothing wrong with you. You don't want anything to be wrong with you. But just in case something is wrong with you, modern science has figured out when it's time to use marijuana. That's what we have doctors for. Okay? And you need to respect that. Okay? It keeps you respecting a physician, respecting a doctor, keeps you from being a drug addict. Okay? All right. Ecclesiastes 38, starting in verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him. Okay? Honor a physician with the due unto him. Okay? Like you will honor a carpenter. You wouldn't go outside and tell a carpenter how to build a porch. You wouldn't tell a carpenter, you know what I'm saying, how to build a frame for your house. You wouldn't go outside and tell a guy that's, you know what I'm saying, doing concrete how to, you know what I'm saying, lay that slab, pour that driveway. You understand? You got to honor the position in the same way. You know what I'm saying? You can't just take it into your own hands. You got to honor that position, okay? All right. Okay? For the uses which ye may have of him. Okay? So you got an illness, you got an ailment, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You go to the physician and take the drugs as prescribed. You understand? Take them as prescribed. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? In the case of if you're an Isupk, you should get counsel on whatever, you know what I'm saying, narcotic. You should let your counselor know whatever narcotic you may be using. You understand? You will not be frowned on upon for, you not be considered a drug addict. You understand? As long as you're using, you know what I'm saying, whatever you got from the doctor in the form that it was prescribed to you. You understand? The form that was prescribed to you. Now we're not going to get into all the bias. We're not going to get into all the bias that the doctors have. You know what I'm saying? We know there's a lot of racism at the doctor's office. We're not going to get into that. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day when I had COVID, I'm saying back in the day that it was so long ago. I talked to General Haas, man. And General Haas, man, he's such a father, man. You know what I'm saying? To where General Haas Young, he got on the phone with me and talked to me while I was at the, you know what I'm saying, while I was on the way to the doctor, and he told me to push the issue. You understand? Because General Haas knew something was wrong with me. That I had caught the COVID a couple times. He told me to push the issue. You understand? Don't just go in there and just let them do whatever they want to do to you, because if you let them do whatever they want to do to you, they will do it. So if you're at the doctor, you know what I'm saying, and you feel like you're not getting the treatment that you're supposed to get, push the issue. Push the issue. You understand? Because you know what I'm saying, they treat the oppressor like they fork him stuff over just like that. Nothing would be wrong with these cats. You understand? But for you to get, you know what I'm saying, the proper care that you need, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times Esau is going to try to look over you. So you have to push the issue. That's the counsel that General Haas gave to me. And that's what I would tell you. If you're going to the doctor and you're having illnesses, don't let up on these doctors, push the issues. We know the times that we live in. But still at the same time, back to what I was saying, it doesn't mean you're a drug addict, okay? So I'm going to keep reading. So, do unto him for the uses which he may have of it. You know what I'm saying? For the uses that you got at the doctor. You got a problem, illness, you know what I'm saying? Give that physician the honor that he deserves. The Lord hath created him. The Lord created every living thing out here. Every gift is from the Most High. You understand? So if somebody has a gift to where they're able to learn to be a doctor, the Lord made that man to where he should be a doctor. Okay? The Lord made him. If he abuses his practice, he had the Lord to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? For the Most High cometh healing. Okay? And he shall receive honor of the kingdom. Okay? That reminds me of, said the analogy that General Muhammad was giving. He said, okay, if the fireman came and pulled you out the house, okay, who are you gonna thank? You gonna thank the fireman? Or you gonna thank God? You just came out of burning house. Most times, 9 times out of 10, everybody that dog gonna get saved by the fireman, they gonna say, "Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God." Those sisters that got pulled out the Pascagoula River by that doggone brave brother in Mississippi, I'm pretty sure after that brother pulled them to the shore, they probably hugged that brother, but they were saying, "Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God." You understand? Because God gave that brother the doggone bravery and courage to be able to go out there and save those sisters, 3 sisters, in a car. You understand? That was nothing but God. So why would you look at the physician, the doctor, any other way? This doctor does open heart surgery on you, you live, you know what I'm saying, gives you some type of wonder drug that, you know what I'm saying, causes, you know what I'm saying, your cancer to recede, you know what I'm saying, causes, you know what I'm saying, you to get rid of a cold, you know what I'm saying, even your COVID-19 vaccine. You understand? God gave these physicians the knowledge to be able to do these things. So you need to respect them accordingly. Okay? All right, so I'm going to read that again from the top, just run through it real quick just to give you a, you know what I'm saying, an update what I've been reading. Honor a physician, the honor due to him, do unto him, for the uses which ye may have of them. For the Lord hath created. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. Okay? So whoever God created to do a job, you know what I'm saying, you need to give him honor. You know what I'm saying? And you need to get the ISUPK honor. You need to honor us. Honor these priests and these prophets inside the ISUPK. God created us. And the Lord is with the ISUPK. The Lord is not with Geno Jennings, Prophet Dollar, Bishop T.D. Jakes. He's not with any of these guys, man. He's not with the purple cats. He's not with them. He's not with them. God is with the ISUPK. If you don't know that by now, you will see it. You're going to see it. Okay? All right. Let me get 1 Corinthians 6 and 19. I'm going to blaze through these last couple of precepts, and I'm just going to give you a couple of things, a couple of facts about marijuana, you know what I'm saying, that you may not know. Okay? Let me give you a couple of facts about marijuana. Let me give you a couple of facts about them because nobody wants to tell the truth about marijuana. Nobody wants to tell you that weed has done such a number on the black community that it's doggone just been just as much as a detriment as the cocaine, the heroin, and all that jazz, man. It's been just as much a detriment. Okay, so let me get 1 Corinthians 6 and 19. 1 Corinthians 6 and 19. Okay? 1 Corinthians 6 and 19. Okay. What? Know ye not? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not your own, for ye are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. Okay? That means glorify God physically and in spirit. You understand? Physically and in spirit. Meaning, I'm going to get into this now. I'm going to bring out these facts. I'm just going to tell you, you know what I'm saying, what it says in the Bible. Okay? It says that you're supposed to glorify your God, you know what I'm saying, glorify God in the spirit and in the flesh, man, in the physical. I mean, that you ain't supposed to doggone put out, abuse your body. This ain't your body to be abused. This is not your body to be abused. You're abusing your body, smoking this weed, you know what I'm saying, running a number on your brain that you don't even know that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And you're getting high. You know what I'm saying? You're just doing all this stuff just to get high. And you know what I'm saying? Walking around like that, you're causing your mind to do things that it normally would not do. You understand? Your body, your brain is producing dopamine and serotonin at levels it should not produce it at because you want to be high all the time. And it messes up your decision making. You know what I'm saying? That's why you choose evil instead of good, because you're constantly high on that weed, man. You're high on the THC. You understand? You're smoking it. You're putting it inside your lungs. It's doing a number on your lungs, your mind. And not only is your mind, you know what I'm saying, it's doing a number on your spirit. But you steady doggone want to doggone make excuses for smoking weed. Weed smokers are the biggest excuse makers I have ever seen in my life. You weed smokers are in denial, man. In denial. You understand? And you're weak. That's why you run to the weed, because you don't want to fight. You want to forget about that doggone the lights that's about to be cut off. You want to forget about doggone, you know what I'm saying, the fact that there's some cats out here want to kill you and wonder why you get caught slipping, sitting in your car with your head blown off. You know what I'm saying? You smoking that weed. It's a fact that the United States of America, the most powerful army on the earth at the time, went to little Vietnam and lost the war. What was the United States' excuse for losing the war? Because everybody in Vietnam was high on weed. Everybody in Vietnam was high on weed, pills, and heroin. You understand? That's why the United States lost the war in Vietnam. You understand? It wasn't because the Vietnam War, the Vietnamese were superior and had superior weapons. You understand? They didn't have no tanks or no jazz like that. The United States Army had tanks. You understand? Superior aircraft. You know what I'm saying? Vietnam had a couple of doggone MiGs that the Soviet Union gave them at the time, which could not compare with the air superiority that the United States had. The United States lost the Vietnam War because everybody in Vietnam, you know, so all the U.S. soldiers were experimenting with drugs, marijuana being the drug of choice, heroin also. You understand? And that's why they lost the war. And black man, black woman, that's why you are losing out here, because you're high all the goddamn time. You're high all the time. Okay? All right. Your body is a temple. You need to treat your body as a temple and stop getting high. Okay? Let me see. Let me get 1 Peter 1:13. 1 Peter 1:13. We try to blaze through these as quickly as possible. Time is winding down. All right. Wherefore, gird up your loins. Okay, so like it. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind. How do you gird up the loins of your mind? Can you gird up the loins of your mind if you're high and out of it? If you're out of your mind on goddamn marijuana, can you really protect your mind? No. You can't protect your mind high on marijuana. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? For all you doggone freaks out there, you probably was high the first time you did your first threesome. You probably was high. You probably was high when you went out there and bought the prostitute. You probably was high when you was doggone, you know what I'm saying, out there being a homosexual. You understand? You probably was high when you doggone did your first drive-by. You understand? I killed a man or whatnot. You probably was high. You understand? You probably was high. You cannot protect your mind, you know what I'm saying, if you're high. Most sisters, when they're high, a brother that brings that weed around a sister for a reason. He knows that If he gives her this weed, 9 times out of 10, she's gonna do something that she usually wouldn't do if she wasn't high. Her mind is not protected because the weed has made her more susceptible to God gonna do these things. Why you think you would get high on weed and you think about things? Your mind is so open. Man, I'm high, man. I never thought about it like that before. Because the weed makes you take your guard down off of your mind. The weed lowers your protection on your mind. And that's why your mind becomes open. You think you're having some type of epiphany. Nah, man, your mind is not protected. Okay? That's what it is. You're just weak at the point in time. It ain't there. You're not thinking deep. You know what I'm saying? You just going into places in your mind that you shouldn't have to go. Your mind is not protected. Because of all the evil out here, the weed doggone makes you more susceptible to the evil that's out here. That's why you're getting high and having threesomes, being a homosexual, and all that jazz. It's not because you're doggone just some type of homosexual or whatnot. It's because you're high, you use these drugs, and they're making you like this. You understand? There's even been a study done that weed is feminizing a lot of black men out here. It's making sisters more masculine. You understand? You can do that research on your own time. But I have to say, maybe they're onto something. Okay? Around the time that the Loud and all that other jazz came out, the Young Thug came out in the dress show. Kanye West, you know what I'm saying? These guys start wearing all these tight pants. They start making you be more acceptable of transgender, homosexuality, you know what I'm saying, alternative lifestyles. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden they came out with this new high grade weed. You become more accepting of everything. Your mind is open. The protection is off your mind. And once you get the protection off the mind of the masses, the majority will follow. It doesn't matter if the rest of the guys smoke weed or not. If the majority of the population and the influencer in the populations is high on weed and they're pushing an agenda, everybody else is going to follow right behind them. You understand? That's just how it goes. You understand? So, yeah, I'm going to read that again. 1 Peter 13 through 15. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind, protect your mind. You can't do that now. Be sober. What does it mean to be sober? It means to be thinking clearly. You don't think clear on marijuana. Don't let it fool you. Okay? All right? And hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Jesus Christ, of the revealing of Yahweh. You understand? Okay? As obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the former lust in your ignorance. Okay? Don't fashion yourself to the former lust of your ignorance, man. You know what I'm saying? You lust and you fiend for that weed, man. You're a fiend, you're a weed addict. But when you find out that, man, that weed is not good for you, man, especially if you're in the truth, don't follow weed and start back smoking that weed. Sex is not better on weed. When you high on that weed, you're still just having regular sex. You understand? You're still just having regular sex. Okay? Let me see, mister, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Orpha Wilburn, you know what I'm saying? You're a drug addict, obviously. If I don't know what I'm talking about, then why is there so much violence in the black community? Why is there so much mental illness inside the black community? If I don't know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm talking about. You understand? I know exactly what I'm talking about. The fact is that you are Arthur Wilburn, you're a weed addict. You understand? You're a fiend. You're a junkie. And you don't know what you're talking about. You understand? If you want to be a junkie and a drug addict, go be one in peace. You know what I'm saying? What are you in my class for? This is for the people that don't want to be a weed addict. This is for the people that don't want to be junkies. This is for the people that respect practical knowledge. If you don't respect practical knowledge, you have no business inside this class. Go be a homosexual. Go be a drug addict. Go fall in the ditch and die for all I care. You understand? I'm here to help the people that wants to be helped. Okay, you say, but weed heals people. Yes, it heals people, but it does not heal people that smoke weed. And you do not have the you don't have the doggone knowledge to know how to self-medicate. You need to go to a doctor. You understand? Everybody thinks that you can go and smoke weed and doggone it's going to heal doggone everything that you got going on. Okay, that's like saying I can go take NyQuil for a headache. You understand? If I don't have a head cold, I don't need to be taking NyQuil. You don't have enough knowledge inside your mind to self-medicate. You understand? You need to go see a doctor. You understand? A lot of people think that when you're stressed out, go smoke weed. I'm finna get into all these other symptoms of smoking weed, but I'm finna go through these precepts. You know what I'm saying? Weed, you're saying that it heals people, but weed is being abused inside the black community. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about weed abuse. You understand? If you're not abusing weed, then I'm not talking to you. But if you're sitting back inside this class and you're rolling you a fat blunt, and you gotta smoke a blunt just to watch a movie, you gotta smoke a blunt just to go out to the store, you gotta smoke a blunt just to eat. I know people like this, and I'm pretty sure you do too. Then weed is not doing any healing. Weed has then become a vice. It's become something that you must do to do something else. You understand? It's not healing at that point. You understand? It's being abused. And furthermore, it is abusing you. Okay, yes, opiates kill people. Why do opiates kill people? Opiates kill people because people abuse opiates. You understand? If you taking the Percocet or the Loratab as prescribed for pain, you will not be ODing behind the opiate. You understand? You won't OD behind it. You understand? You will not OD behind the opiate if you're taking it for pain for the time that it's prescribed for you. You understand? You will not go OD on it. You understand? So don't fall. Yeah, there's a lot of people out here ODing on opiates. Why are they ODing on opiates? The reason that they're ODing on opiates is because they're abusing opiates. You understand? They're being drug addicts and they're weak. Okay? That's why that is happening. Okay? I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news or you're in touch with reality, but a lot of times these guys are found that their levels of opium are way past the level that the human body can withstand, and that's why they die. You understand? That's why they die on these opiates. But if you just had surgery, you know what I'm saying, get prescribed Percocets or Loratabs or Oxycontin or some jazz like that, and you take it as prescribed, you'll be okay. You understand? If you're in the ISUPK, you should get counsel on all these things. Okay? And yes, it is wicked doctors out here. It's wicked doctors out here. But that's why you should always have more than one doctor. You shouldn't have just one doctor. Okay? You should be able to go get one opinion, a second opinion. You understand? And you should always have somebody that thinks rationally to give you counsel. Somebody that cares about you. If you're in the ISUPK, you should have a priest above you that cares about you and can really give you counsel on these things. And that's a problem in the black community. We're going about thinking that we can just counsel ourselves. Let me see. Right. Right on. Okay. Do not OD on weed. Once again, you don't know what you're talking about. That is why you only got me watching. Okay? We'll see. I got 6 likes, you know what I'm saying? And if you are just watching it, maybe I'm here just to cut and slice you up. You understand? Maybe I'm just here to cut and slice you up and let you know that you're a drug addict. you know what I'm saying, off Will Burn, you know what I'm saying? Uh, maybe that's why I'm here. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. Um, you're a drug addict, obviously. And like I said before, nobody makes more excuses than a drug addict. You understand? God gonna give you every excuse in the world to why their drug of choice is not bad. You know what I'm saying? The crackhead will tell you that his drug, he's smoking crack because he wants to. He can quit. That's what the crackhead will tell you. The heroin addict, you know what I'm saying? He may not be so bold to tell you something like that. But at the end of the day, he's a drug addict. You're a drug addict, weed head. You're a drug addict, pill head. All you guys are drug addicts. You understand? And put in a proper position, you know what I'm saying, to where you don't have any money to get it, you'll do something strange for that drug. Yes, because you're an addict. That's what you are. You understand? Uh, let me get let me see. James 4 and 7. James 4 and 7. I said, man, nobody makes more excuses than a drug addict. The world could be crumbling around the drug addict, and they would all make every excuse. You know what I'm saying? They don't hold any. They don't. They will never hold that doggone drug accountable for anything. I can quit whenever I feel like it. Well, quit right now if you can quit whenever you feel like it. You understand? Quit right now. The fact is you can't quit. You know why you can't quit? Because you are hooked. You are addicted to marijuana. You can't eat without it. You know what I'm saying? The minute that you doggone stop smoking marijuana, you can't sleep without it. Okay, if I'm wrong and you're not an addict, why are you here? You understand? Why are you defending marijuana if you're not an addict? You're obviously an addict. You understand? And that's why you defend it. You understand? You don't want anybody calling out, you know what I'm saying, your vice, your problem. You understand? You got to go through life and be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? This ain't killing me. You know what I'm saying? This ain't hurting me. It is hurting me. And you know what I'm saying? Forget about you. Let me see, Oracle. Are you a devil? Are you a brother? What's your ethnicity? Are you a black man or are you a white man? Let's ask that. Type it in the chat, you know what I'm saying, while I get the scripture. James 4, 7. I hear you, awful, awful, awful Wilburn. I hear you. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, this marijuana is not helping the black community, but it's hurting the black community. We had so many brothers die behind drug deals, die behind, you know what I'm saying, different things because each other was high. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't able to work out their differences. You understand? They wasn't able to work out their differences. You know why? Because they wasn't able to make the proper decisions because they were high on weed. They were high on weed. And so brotherhood was out the door. You know what I'm saying? They were thinking, you know what I'm saying, they wasn't acting rational. You understand? They wasn't acting rational. They didn't know how to deal with each other like men. They didn't know how to make the decisions because they were high on marijuana. You understand? I don't know what type of life, what type of community you live in, but most of the violence that I've seen happen is from guys that were high on weed. You understand? They were high on weed. With weed and drug dealing, it's always violence come behind. It's always violence come behind. It hasn't been a time when you guys are dealing with drugs and isn't accompanied by violence. You understand? Okay, submit yourselves, therefore, to God. You know what I'm saying? Don't submit yourself to that marijuana, man. Don't submit yourself to that weed. You understand? Submit yourself to God, man. A lot of you guys, you know what I'm saying, you have laid down for that weed, man. You have submitted yourself to the weed. You understand? You submitted yourself to it. You know what I'm saying? If weed was such a help, man, I've seen a lot of folks break down you know what I'm saying, and have an all-out psychotic episode high on weed. You understand? I've seen this happen. You know what I'm saying? A lot of veterans, man, y'all don't have no business smoking weed. You understand? It takes your mind to a place that you should not be. You understand? I've already went over that example inside the Vietnam War where America lost the war because they were high on weed. They were high on weed. You understand? That's why America lost the war. Weed, pills, and heroin. That was America's sole reason for losing that war. Okay? Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Man, resist that weed, man. Go through the withdrawals. Go through those withdrawals. You know what I'm saying? After you go through those withdrawals, you'll begin to think clearer. You'll begin to get your appetite back. You begin to be less feminine for all you men out here. You know what I'm saying? That weed makes you feminine. You know what I'm saying? Makes you soft. You understand? The weed is not good for you. You understand? You're smoking it, you're self-medicating. It's not good for you. You shouldn't be doing it. Nothing is designed to go inside your lungs. Besides it. Okay? And that's a fact. Okay, let me get Deuteronomy 18:10. After that, I'm going to get Wisdom of Solomon, and I'm going to blaze through some of these symptoms and drawbacks of smoking weed. Okay? I knew a drug addict was coming sooner or later. You understand? It's always a drug addict that's going to defend that weed. I mean, the crackhead defends the drug dealer. If you want somebody to take off and run with your drugs, or you know what I'm saying, if you want to drive somebody's car, you know what I'm saying, you out there selling crack, you need a car, that crackhead is always going to be there for you. You understand? It's going to always be there for you. You know why? Because he's addicted to the crack. So he's going to defend the crack. He's going to defend the crack dealer. Same with the weed head. You know, different weed head. You understand? That's why he defended the weed. Deuteronomy 18:10. Okay, this is for you guys, you know what I'm saying, that smoking weed with your children. I'm going to tap into that too, man, because if you are a parent that is smoking weed with your child, you are a bad and terrible parent. You are a terrible parent. You need to bring your child and drop them off with, you know what I'm saying, with the eyes you can, so that child can have a fighting chance, okay? Okay? There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through fire. Okay? You're putting your children through fire, man. You know what I'm saying? With that weed. You know what I'm saying? You telling your children, come here. If you're gonna smoke weed, all y'all heard this. If you're gonna smoke weed, smoke it with me. You know what I'm saying? So you tell your children to come over there and smoke the weed, you gotta make a blunt. And you start them on the path of being a drug addict. Not only do you do that, you give them children so many mental problems. You understand? Give them so many mental problems. You know what I'm saying? And you stunt their growth from the marijuana. Their mind hasn't been fully developed. Don't you know that a adult, a human period mind doesn't fully develop to 25, and most children inside the black community begin smoking weed as young as 12, anywhere from 12 to 15. They're smoking their first blunt, or a lot younger than that. And it's usually given to them by their mother, auntie, uncle, you know what I'm saying? And their excuse is, I didn't want to smoke it on the street. You understand? How about you stop being a drug addict, and maybe they won't be a drug addict? Your excuse is because I didn't want nobody to lace you. I always smoke a blunt, you know what I'm saying? I always don't never smoke a pre-roll blunt. You know what I'm saying? How about not smoke the blunt at all? Okay? All right. Oh no, you are a Mexican woman, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with that. You are my sister. You know what I'm saying? I love all my Mexican brothers and sisters. And you're a Mexican defending weed? Wow. Imagine that. You understand? Imagine that. Did drug cartels tear Mexico? You understand? Now, sister, understand this. I'm not I'm not saying weed doesn't have purposes. See, if you have been here for the whole class, you will understand that weed has its purpose, but its purpose is not to be abused and smoked. You understand? You're supposed to be smoking. You're not supposed to be smoking anything. The only thing you're supposed to be smoking is air. Okay, is air. Okay, you're not supposed to be smoking weed. And if you do, if it is a time that you need weed, you need to go to the doctor and get a prescription. Be examined by a doctor. Get counsel also. You understand? Because like you said earlier, I agree with you. When you said there's a lot of wicked doctors out here, it is. And that's why I said you should have not one, but at least two, sometimes three doctors that you can get an opinion from. I know the number that the doctors does on our, you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters out there. You understand? They have, especially, they do a number on the women. They go there, you know what I'm saying? I always encouraging women to get their reproductive organs cut out or whatnot. I understand that. But what I'm saying is that these so-called herbs, as a lot of people put it, are not made to be abused. And nothing is made to be smoked. You understand? And not to mention, that they're locking Mexicans up all the time for marijuana. And it's good. And it's good. And we get locked up for it. Life. You understand? Why they let certain, you know what I'm saying, they letting some of these drugs in and they're knocking other people out for them. You understand? It's something what I heard back when they called it a driver's license. That means if you're not in with the feds, you know what I'm saying, or the local police, they're going to pull you over and they're going to take you to jail for trafficking weed and whatnot. But if you are in with them, or if you're one of their informants, or you gave up information, they'll allow you, you know what I'm saying, some weed to go around and sell, you know what I'm saying, and smoke, and you won't go to prison behind it. You understand? This is the type of animal that we're dealing with. You understand? This is the reason that makes weed bad, because they use the weed to prey on our communities. You understand? That's what makes weed bad. So no offer. I don't have a problem with Mexicans. I love my Mexican brothers and sisters. You understand? And I'm here for the Mexican people. I'm here for the black people. You understand? I'm here for our people, period. You understand? So understand that the ISUPK is doggone home and refuge to Mexicans, Guatemalans, you know what I'm saying, Panamanians, Colombians, Puerto Ricans, all of our Hispanic brothers and sisters. Okay? But anyway, I didn't recognize that you was what we call an Isupk from your last name. So, okay, that's cool. Anyway, I will continue to move. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through fire, or use of divination as an observer of times, or an enchanter or a witch. Okay, like I told you, a drug dealer is a witch. You understand? A drug dealer is a witch. You feel me? A drug dealer is a witch. A drug dealer is somebody that uses that weed and uses that crack to control people. And you're handing your children over to these drug dealers. You understand? A lot of you are such bad parents that you even handed your children over to the drug dealer as a sex toy so you can get high. Think about that. That's the hell that a lot of our people live in, man. Well, a lot of our sisters have been prostituted out by their mother, just for their mother to smoke weed, you know what I'm saying, and get high on crack. But anyway, I'm going to drop that. It's more on that, but I'm going to drop that for time's sake. You get Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 12. Okay. This is an excellent precept for you, Arthur Wilburn. You know what I'm saying? You say you're Mexican. Okay. Uh, for it was neither herb nor mollifying plastic. You know what I'm saying? Mollifying plastic, that would be some type of elixir or something like a antibiotic ointment. You know what I'm saying? That's what that compared to. That restored them to health. But thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things. You understand? It's the word of the Lord that healeth all things. It ain't the herb. You know what I'm saying? The Lord created the herb. You understand? That's what healeth you. It was the Lord that the Lord put the herb there. And the Lord made the doctor. So you should doggone honor the physician, like I read to you before in Ecclesiastes. Honor the physician, okay? Because it's neither the herb, it ain't the fireman that saved you out the fire. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the police that Lil Wayne think came and took him to the doctor. It ain't none of that. It was the Lord that did that. You understand? So give credit where credit is due. Okay, I'm gonna go over some of the symptoms that weed does. Okay, and I'm gonna speed through these pretty fast. It inflames your lungs. Okay, weed inflames your lungs. A lot of weed smokers have a nasty chronic cough. It's because the weed is putting all types of tar and all types of doggone gunk inside your lungs. So it inflames your lungs. It gives you all types of pulmonary diseases. Now, I'm going to blaze through these pretty quick, but you know what I'm saying? You can go jot these down and research them for yourself. Weed gives you all types of pulmonary diseases, bronchitis, you know what I'm saying? Asthma, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All types of wheezing at the lungs. Okay? It has cancer-causing compounds in it, weed does. Okay, a lot of people think that weed doesn't have cancer-causing compounds, but it does when you smoke it. You understand? Or when you take too much of it. Too much of that dog on this meat that you eat out here can cause cancer. So definitely weed can. Okay? Let's see. There is, okay. There's no safe way of inhaling weed. You can't safely inhale weed in any way. You can't inhale it through a water bomb. It'll be safe. You can't inhale it in a blunt, in a pipe. There's no safe way to do it. Okay? The earlier a lot of you cats start on the weed, the more damaging it is. You think you're doing your kids a favor by you introducing the weed to them yourself. But the fact is, unless your kid is, you know what I'm saying, somebody that runs the street, and a lot of times he's not going to be introduced to weed until, you know what I'm saying, he goes off to college or some jazz like that. You know what I'm saying? I've known a lot of people like that. Me, myself, personally, I was introduced to weed at a young age, you know what I'm saying, weed did a number on me, to say the least. That's a whole nother story. But, you know what I'm saying, introducing your children to weed at an early age, you're doing them no favor. Okay? You're doing them no favor. Okay? You're not doing them a favor by introducing them to weed at an early age. You're doing them something that's going to stunt their growth, stunt their brain development. You understand? It has especially damage on that frontal lobe. You understand? And you know what I'm saying? Your frontal lobe in your brain is not fully developed, like I said earlier, till you reach the full age of maturity at 25. You understand? At 25, that's when the normal brain fully develops. And by smoking weed at an early age, you've done this damage on your brain that, you know what I'm saying, that you can't, in a lot of cases, that you can't reverse. You know what I'm saying? Furthermore, I'm against really putting children on all types of mind-altering drugs, especially at a young age. Now, if you're an adult and you still have a lot of issues, maybe you may need a Xanax for depression. You know what I'm saying? But you need to go to the doctor. Maybe you may need an Adderall or some jazz like that. You may have some type of disability, but you need to go to a doctor and get it and get counsel on these things. These are not things that you need to decide to do on your own. Look at many things that you decided to get on your own. You decided to get a car that costs this doggone $800 a month, and you got a $1,200 a month rent mortgage, and you only make $400 a week. and you got your car around income tax and wonder why, you know what I'm saying, your car is being repossessed within a couple of months. It's because it's a decision that you made to get this car, and you know you can't afford it. You understand? So your decision making is very poor. You understand? You shouldn't be making decisions. You should leave decision making as far as like down getting medicine up to the doctor. You should leave decision because you're poor at making decisions. You're poor with money. That's why you spend all your money on drugs. You're poor at it. You understand? You're not good on making decisions because you started smoking weed when you was 14. And you've been a drug addict ever since. You're not good at making decisions. You understand? Your mind hasn't had fully time to develop. You're like a child. You understand? Leave it up to the doctor. And furthermore, get counsel on all these things that you do. Okay? Weed messes with your emotional status. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people, they become very emotional on the weed. Like I said, I've seen these things play out. Why do you think a lot of these cats are so violent? Because they're emotional. It's not that they're just naturally violent, they're just emotional. And the weed makes them more emotional. That's what it is. Okay? Now, you know what I'm saying? In some cases, um, you know what I'm saying, people have came to find out that, you know what I'm saying, marijuana is good for aches and pains. But like I said, you need to go to the doctor and let the doctor check you out. Okay? But it's other alternatives to weed other than aches and pain. You can go exercise more. A lot of times, you know what I'm saying, a lot of black people, native people, Hispanic people, a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, our people are just plain out, they don't want to exercise. Okay? They don't want to exercise. They don't want to, you know what I'm saying, sleep correctly. You understand? Because they're so stressed out from the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to stay up, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason. A lot of these times, these aches and pains and exercising, you know what I'm saying, exercising can solve a lot of your aches and pains. Okay? Exercising can solve a lot of your aches and pains. Furthermore, okay, it's stuff that comes out of marijuana like CBD. Okay, they're making a lot of drugs with compounds, you know, so not drugs, but supplements with compounds. Like they got your ashwagandha and your CBD. Okay, CBD does help with the pain, but CBD does not get you high. You know what I'm saying? But CBD does have a pain relieving compound in it. You understand? But a lot of you don't want this just the CBD. You don't want the CBD without the THC because you're not looking to relieve pain. You're just looking to get high. Okay? Okay, a lot of you people, you want to go out there and try those edibles. You know what I'm saying? You want to have a party, you want to eat your edibles and whatnot. Okay, thinking your edibles is just something, you know what I'm saying, that you can just go out and do, and you know what I'm saying, you'll be okay. But edibles are sending a lot of, Sister Arthur, you know what I'm saying, Arthur, she said that you can't OD on weed. I think you need to go research that. A lot of people have OD and ended up in emergency room from having too much weed in their system, and primarily because of eating these edibles. You know what I'm saying? It is a concentrated version of you smoking it. So you taking this edible and you're thinking like, okay, I eat this edible. An hour later, I don't feel it. I'm gonna eat some more. Still don't feel it. I need some more. But it takes like 3 hours for it to get to your system. So now it starts hitting you all at once. It's very intense. Very intense. And now you can't handle it. Now you are beginning to OD on marijuana. Your mind is in a state that you can't handle. You understand? So yes, you can OD on weed. Don't believe that. Okay? Marijuana makes you not care about pain. You know what I'm saying? Why you think a lot of cats, you know what I'm saying, go out here and do these different things, and they just, weed makes them feel invincible. Because it makes them not care about pain. What other drug makes you not care about pain? Cocaine. It was a famous scene in Scarface. Scarface had a kilo sitting on the table. Scarface knew it was about to go down. He set over that kilo on the table, and he doggone just stuck his nose in it, and doggone snorted that doggone cocaine, and he went out in a flaming glory until somebody doggone come Lewis going back off with a 12 gauge pause. You know what I'm saying? With a 12 gauge, you understand? And that ended him. That was the end of stopping. Why? Because cocaine makes you not feel pain, just like marijuana makes you not feel pain. You understand? PCP and angel dust also. You understand? Okay? It causes developmental issues during pregnancy. A lot of you sisters wonder why your child is such a doggone menace inside the house, doesn't listen. It's because you got high the whole time during the pregnancy. It is your fault. That is your creation. Deal with it. You want to smoke weed while you was pregnant? That's why you have a doggone heathen running around your house right now that will not listen to you because you will not listen to the Most High and you continue to be a drug addict even while you was pregnant. You selfish bastard. That's why your child is doggone not in the mental state that they need to be in. It's because you was a drug addict and you wasn't in the mental state that you should be. Okay? It's fungus that comes with smoking weed. It's called aspergillus. It's a fungus that comes with smoking weed. A lot of you wonder why, you know what I'm saying, you got this chronic cough. It's because of fungus that you have ingested from smoking weed. That's another drawback on weed smoke. Okay? Weed triggers schizophrenia. A lot of you cats think that weed is a substitute from going to just see a psychiatrist. A lot of you cats need to go see a psychiatrist, man. And you think that that weed is going to help against the schizophrenia. No, weed is going to trigger the schizophrenia. Weed triggers schizophrenia, man. You understand? It triggers it. You know what I'm saying? I've seen this really, you know what I'm saying, right in front of me, you know what I'm saying, live and living color. I've seen these schizophrenics trip out while they was high on weed. You understand? They get very paranoid. You know what I'm saying? They begin to dog and talk outside of their head, hallucinate. Off of weed is because it triggers mental illness. Like I said before, that's why a lot of mental illness is inside the black community. All right? Just because something is legal doesn't mean it's safe. Like I said, Esau has made these high-grade weed legal, but that doesn't mean it's safe. You know what I'm saying? This stuff that's out here right now is not safe. It's not even down with the weed, you know what I'm saying, the marijuana that the Most High put on the side of the earth. It's not the same. You know what I'm saying? It's been down once and it's been modified. Okay, the last thing I'm going to get into, and I might, you know what I'm saying, give a couple of closing remarks. The last thing I'm going to get into is the withdrawal symptoms of weed. Okay? Withdrawal symptoms of weed. Okay, if you can't be addicted to weed, why in the world would you have withdrawal symptoms? Okay? Why would you have withdrawal symptoms to something that you're not addicted to? It's because your body has become dependent on this marijuana. Do not believe the hype that you cannot be addicted to marijuana. I wish Arthur Wilburn was still here so I can run down the effects of withdrawing from marijuana. But anyway, the withdrawal symptoms, okay? Day one. This is day one on you quitting weed. This is day one. Okay? You begin to get a headache. Okay? Okay, a lot of you people, you know what I'm saying, out here in the internet world that smoke weed, you're not gonna attest to this. Not to mention if you get some bump weed, you know what I'm saying? A lot of we used to call it bump weed back in the day, but you can get some bump weed that give you a headache. True enough, you understand? 9 times out of 10 they got some type of bug spray or pesticide on it. You know, so that's the weed I was throwing around back in the day when I was still smoking weed. But anyway, the symptoms of withdrawal of weed, day one, you get a headache. You understand? Your head begins to hurt because your head is craving this weed. You know what I'm saying? It's craving this dopamine rush, this doggone serotonin. You know what I'm saying? All these different things that weed triggers. You understand? Okay, you get a headache, anger. You become angry. You become irritable. You understand? Sweating, nervousness, nausea. A lot of you people doggone that, you know what I'm saying, that think you ain't smoked weed in a couple of days, you begin to throw up and stuff. It's because you have not smoked any weed. and your body is having withdrawal symptoms from it. Okay? Depressed mood, you become depressed, you know what I'm saying? You feel down. You feel like you need to smoke some weed, you know what I'm saying? You feel like life just ain't exciting, you know what I'm saying, without smoking weed. I had a brother tell me that, man. He told me, he told me, man, like, man, you know what I'm saying, the reason that he pops pills and smoke weed, man, he like, hey, I'm just so bored without it. And you know what I'm saying? Weed and the pills just make life just seem a little bit more exciting. You understand? That's why a lot of cats smoke weed and pop pills because, you know, life begins to feel a little bit more exciting without, you know what I'm saying, with it. It's like, okay? All right, depressed mood, difficulty getting to sleep. This is day one of not smoking weed. Decreased appetite and bad dreams. A lot of you cats, you know what I'm saying, you can't eat without smoking. I've heard this all too many times. Cats wake up, they gotta smoke. They go to bed, they gotta smoke. Why do you have to do that? You know what I'm saying? It's because your body has become dependent. That's why you got to do it. And that's why you're addicted. Your body has become dependent on marijuana. You understand? That's why you can't eat unless you smoke. You can't go to sleep unless you smoke. That's why you have bad dreams if you don't smoke. Because your body is craving the drug, your God, the marijuana. You understand? You weed smokers are in the coke. Okay? Day three on not smoking weed. Okay? Okay, you're irritable. Again, you're irritable, meaning you're getting irritated very easy. Your anxiety is at its peak. Strange dreams continue to occur. Difficulty, difficulty getting to sleep. Okay? Increased cannabinoids, down regulation, receptor, they return to normal function. Okay, day three, your mind begins to doggone function the way it's supposed to function. Your cannabinoids begin to return to normal. You have something in your brain called cannabinoids. Okay, you can research this. You know what I'm saying? You can look this up. What's going on, Stop Young? What's on Christ, sir? Uh, your brain has cannabinoids, and the weed throws your cannabinoids off. But on day three of withdrawing off marijuana, you know what I'm saying, your cannabinoids begin to return to its normal function because you are detoxing off the marijuana, detoxing off the THC. You understand? So your cannabinoids begin to return to its normal function. Okay? Okay, this is day 5 through 7. Okay? This is not on the day where a lot of people fold. You understand? A lot of people they fold between day 5 and 7. Okay? It's the hardest to quit for dependency. Okay? Uh, it's the hardest to quit. You understand? What ends up happening is the same thing that happens, you know what I'm saying, all these other symptoms, they become to come down on you even harder, and that's why it's hardest to quit on day 5 through 7. But if you make it through day 5 through 7, if you're able to fight with day 5 and 7, you know what I'm saying, you can actually quit that marijuana, man. Okay, so in closing, I'm gonna go ahead and end this class, but I'm gonna say a couple things, man. You gotta think about right, right. Most High in Christ, sir. You got to think about, you know what I'm saying, all the doggone prepping and grooming that we've been made growing up to smoke weed. You understand? We've been told that weed is okay. Weed is a good thing. While we're seeing our doggone loved ones getting locked up for marijuana use. We're seeing doggone marijuana use lead to cocaine use. A lot of brothers were smoking dirties, you know what I'm saying, and where I grew up at. They were smoking cocaine-laced blunts, which we call dirties or boom, loons or whatever you may call it. I believe a lot of brothers call them primos. The weed led to cocaine usage. You understand? And it made you do things that you wouldn't usually do. Like I said earlier, it made you more susceptible to threesomes and all these other things because you were high on weed. You know what I'm saying? You weren't good at making decisions. Therefore, you weren't good with problem solving from another brother, and it made you very violent. Don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? I know they had the movies come out next Friday, where they glorify the weed smoking. but it was just another weapon that your oppressor used to prep you with what's going on now. You know what I'm saying? Every rapper in the 90s, they always had a song about their mama. Not only did they have a song about their mama, they always had a song on the same album about smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? Think of mine, The Chronic, Master P, Ghetto Dope, you understand? Trick Daddy, trying to stop smoking. Mystical, still smoking. Zero, nothing but swisher smoking at night. You know what I'm saying? All these different songs. Nothing but swisher smoking at night was one of my favorites. You know what I'm saying? Master P, oh man, it was a song, man, that we used to always say all the time. How did that song go, that Master P song? Pass me the green, I'm eating weed with my Hennessy. You understand? All these songs prepped you and made you think that smoking weed was a good thing. Now let's fast forward to 2022. Now drill music has became popular. You know what I'm saying? Before that, it was just drug addict music, like popping your Percocets, your Molly, Serve Sipping. You know what I'm saying? Now they're making albums just, you know what I'm saying? They went from making albums about drug usage. Now they're so out of their minds now, they're making albums about straight killing. And that's what the end to sin is destruction, man. It's destruction. And you're smoking that weed makes you more susceptible to God's own destruction, man. And you're going to die in the end, man. You're going to die in the end. Okay? So with that, man, I'm going ahead and end the class, man. All you drug addicts, man, get in class. There's no better rehab than the ISUPK. You know what I'm saying? You may go to Esup's rehab, and it was an article out that you may end up inside sex trafficking or some type of organ trafficking. They may kill you in that drug rehab. You know what I'm saying? Your SAP programs in prisons, they don't work. You know what I'm saying? Come to the ISUPK. We have so many successful brothers that you should smoke weed like a chimney. They don't smoke weed anymore. So come inside the ISUPK. We can help you with your drug habits. You know what I'm saying? And if you just want to be a filthy drug addict, bring your kids to the ISUPK. We'll raise them up, and you'll see that, you know what I'm saying, that you had it in you all along to be honorable. You just wasn't raised right, and you was weak. Okay? That, so imagine Shabbat, imagine Yahweh Shai, Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? It's like, that's the time, that's it.